Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, companies are not only judged by profits but also by their ethical and spiritual value. In Malaysia, where Islam plays a key role in daily and business life, companies must respect religious obligations, especially when dealing with the government. Petronas is well known for its financial strength and CSR, but there are concerns about whether it fulfills its zakat duties. This case study examined Petronas' zakat policy using Qawaid Fiqhiyah, which is an Islamic legal framework. We also compare it with other companies and include views from religious scholars to explore how Islamic ethics can shape better corporate governance.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Ain Masita binti Abdul Zaid. My matric number is 822804444. Now I will present introduction of the zakat issue in Petronas. National Petroleum Nasional Berhad is Malaysia's state-owned oil and gas company established in 1974. It has long been one of the most profitable and influential company in the country, contributing significantly to national revenue through taxes, dividends, royalty and oil income. Like many large corporations, Petronas is actively involved in corporate social responsibility or CSR. Its CSR initiative focus mainly on education, environmental sustainability, community health and disaster relief. These initiatives are carried out not only in Malaysia but also in other countries where Petronas operate. However, one major concern that has interactive public and academic attention is the issue of zakat. Zakat, unlike taxes or CSR, is a compulsory religious obligation in Islam, intended to purify wealth and support the underprivileged. Petronas has been criticized for a lack of transparency in disclosing its zakat contribution. This raises questions about its compliance with Islamic ethical and religious obligation, especially as a government-linked company in a Muslim majority country. In Islamic corporate governance, zakat is not merely a charitable act, it is a religious duty with social economic objective. It is distinct from taxes and CSR, which are largely voluntary or policy-driven. Zakat ensure wealth distribution and support the welfare of the asnaf. Therefore, a corporation fulfillment of zakat reflects its commitment to Islamic value and social justice. The issue of zakat compliance by large corporations like Petronas has sparked ongoing debate among scholars and the public. It highlights the intersection between business practice and Islamic law in Malaysia. Most importantly, it underscores the need for corporate accountability, transparency and governance that respect both legal and religious framework in a Muslim majority context. That's all from me.
I will continue the presentation with the background of the zakat issue in Petronas. In 2020, media reports revealed Petronas has not disclosed zakat payment that raised public concern. As a major government-linked company, GLC in a Muslim country, its Sharia compliance is highly focused. Zakat is obligatory in Islam, while CSR is voluntary and reputation-driven. Academics argue that CSR cannot replace zakat obligation. Lack of zakat reporting raises issue of transparency, accountability and religious compliance. Calls have been made for a stronger institutional framework to ensure corporate zakat responsibility are properly governed.
Next is key issue. First foremost is lack of transparency in zakat payment. Petronas lack transparency regarding its zakat payment. Even though it provides comprehensive report on tax, profit, dividend and SCR activities, this lack of disclosure has led to public skepticism, particularly among Muslim stockholders, questioning whether Petronas is fulfilling its zakat obligation according to Islamic practice. To maintain trust and confidence, especially within the Muslim community, Petronas need to be more open about its zakat payment. Next is comparison with other government-linked company, GLC. Unlike Petronas, government-linked companies such as Bank Islam, Tabung Haji and Lembaga Zakat Selangor actively disclose the zakat contribution in their report. This organization also collaborate with Zakat State Office to ensure that zakat funds are properly disbursed to eligible asnaf recipients. Petronas' relative lack of transparency raised doubt about its commitment to Islamic value compared to this pair. Last but not least is response of religious authorities. Religious authorities, including JAKIM and State Islamic Council, emphasize the importance of timely zakat payment through approved channel. They highlight a zakat crucial role in property allocation and compliance with Islamic law. This agency also provide guidance to companies on zakat calculation and also payment. Petronas failure to activities engaged with this body raised concern that profit may be prioritized over religious obligation, potentially harming its reputation among Muslim community.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Balkis Nasrah binti Arifah. My matric number is A22A1140. Today I will explain about the application of Qawaid Syariah in Petronas. First is Al-Umur bil Maqasidiha, which is the maxim emphasizes the importance of intention in action. Petronas CSR initiative aim to achieve corporate reputation and contribute to societal well-being, but CSR cannot replace zakat, which purifies wealth and redistributing it. Second is Al-Mazhaka Tajlib Al-Taisir, which is hardness biggest is. Petronas manage numerous assets, financial tools and subsidiaries, making zakat calculation challenging. However, financial statement can be prepared straightforwardly and efficiently using standard fatwas and official corporate zakat calculation tool. That is Al-Yakin La Yazulu Bi Al-Shak, which is certainty is not overweighted by doubt. The maxim emphasizes the importance of clarity and transparency in Islamic governance, particularly in the context of zakat payment, uncertainty and lead to doubt and uncertainty. Fourth is Al-Dara Waladira, which is no harm shall be inflicted or returned. Zakat protects underprivileged group welfare, but non-reliance by corporation like Petronas can directly harm the community and set a negative precedent, undermining the collective zakat system in Malaysia. Next is Al-Adah Muhakkamah, which is custom is an arbitrator. Malaysian company, which is Petronas, adhere to Islamic principle by sending zakat donation to state Islamic Religious Council, ensuring legal and binding practice and promoting harmony and consistency in national zakat operation. Last is Al-Haraj bi Al-Damar, which is liability, entitles, ownership and obligation. This maxim explains that property owner are entitled to its benefit and obligation includes paying zakat. Thus, corporate zakat is a genuine obligation for companies, not depends on individual shareholder clarity.
Question number 1 is how will do Qawaid Fiqhiyah deal with ensuring transparency in the distribution of zakat fund by Petronas? Study the position influence of Islamic legal idea on step to enhancing reporting of zakat for business. Question number 2, discuss the corporate zakat payment and reporting practice between Petronas and other Malaysia GLC. What factor distributed two different in transparent, and how can Islamic legal principle help harmonize this practice? And the last one, how effect intervention of legal authority in enforcing zakat compliance among major corporation. Assess how the application of Qawaid Fiqhiyah contributed to enhancing the legitimacy, information and enhancing commitment to corporate zakat obligation.
Assalamualaikum. I'm gonna present about discussion question. First question: how can the maxim al-adalah wa al-ahsan be operationalized to enhance transparency in zakat payment by corporation? Second question: what are the practical and ethical implication of limited zakat payment disclosure by Petronas compared to other GLC? How should religious authorities respond? And third question, in what way can Qawaid Fiqhiyah help resolve conflict between corporate confidentiality and the public right to know about zakat contribution?
Hello, my name is Nuri Izzah. I will be discussing Petronas zakat obligation and the challenges it faces in fulfilling them, which is the case summary. Despite fulfilling its tax and CSR responsibility, Petronas has been criticized for not adequately addressing its Zakat obligation, which is concerning given its role as a government-linked company in a Muslim-majority country. To address this, Islamic legal maxims can guide Petronas in improving its corporate governance. Al-Umur bil Maqasidihah suggests that action should align with their true purpose, so zakat must serve the needy, not just fulfill a duty. Al-Mashaqah Tajlib al-Taysir allows for simplified calculation due to corporate complexities. Al-Yakin la yazul bil al-Shah emphasize timely zakat payments, even with minor uncertainties. Al-Dara Yuzal helps avoid double payments, while Al-Adam Muhakkamah stress adherence to local customs like collaborating with state Islamic councils. Finally, Al-Kharaj bil Al-Daman affirms that Petronas as a corporation is responsible for its zakat obligation. In conclusion, applying this principle can enhance Petronas' transparency and ethical commitment to zakat, which is setting a positive example for other corporations. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nur Atika. I will answer the assignment question number 1, 2 and 3. Okay. First is Ethical Foundation of Zakat in Petronas. Petronas demonstrate in corporate social responsibility through a zakat distribution guided by Islamic legal maxim of Qawaid Fiqhiyah. The core maxim of Al-Umur bil Maqasidihah action are judged by intention ensure zakat reach rightful benefit. Under the key principle al-yakin al-yazu bil al-shar certainly is not removed by DOP support transparent zakat reporting. With digital system and Sharia panel, Petronas align ethical obligation with a modern government, ensuring trust and accountability. Okay, the answer for the question 2 is transparency and comparison among GLC. Petronas is more transparent in the zakat reporting than other Malaysian GLC like TNB or Telekom Malaysia. Some companies treat zakat like religious, others or CSR leading or consistency. The ethical maxim like Dara User Harm just be removed. Companies consistently adopting a standard zakat report can improve public confidence, alliance, financial reportability with Islamic ethical standard. Okay, the answer for number 3 of assignment question is compliance and corporate integration. So in Malaysia, religious council issue zakat guideline, but enforcement depend on company policy. Maxim like Al-Amanah Trust emphasize moral responsibility. So Qawaid Fiqhiyah strengthen self-regulation and ethical awareness is by Islamic value with corporate behavior, making a zakat credible, purposeful contribution social equity.
Okay, the next one is a discussion question. The first question is how can corporation promote zakat transparency through justice and benevolence? Al-Adalah al-Justice. Ensure that zakat is calculated and distributed fairly according to Sharia. Al-Ihsan benevolent. Promote honesty, care and sincerity will bring beyond minimum compliance. Practical step. Accurate zakat calculation based on Islamic law. Benefit. Uphold the ethical goal of zakat with its economic fairness and social justice. The next question is, what if Petronas disclose zakat into other than GLC? How should a religious leader respond? Petronas rule, which is a major GLC with a significant moral obligation. Ethical concern, which is may appear less committed to Islam value than peers. Practical impact, reduce stakeholder confidence and transparency. A religious leader rule, issue fatwa or guidance for corporate zakat disclosure, and collaborate with zakat bodies to set the consistent rule. The last question is, how can Qawaid Fiqhiyah help balance transparency and confidentiality, which is a legal maxim used is in hardship, prevent harm, and follow the custom. Also balance approach, share a total zakat and its purpose, keep sensitive data private when
Assalamualaikum. On this slide, I want to talk about the suggested teaching method, which is a role-play simulation titled Corporate Zakat Dilemma in Petronas. The key roles in this simulation is the finance director, who emphasized that zakat has been fulfilled through CSR initiative like Dana Asi Syarikin. The Petronas Sharia compliance officer, who calling for Islamic principle to be applied to this issue as referring to the method of al-Adalah wal al-Ihsan. Next is the religious authority representative, who highlights that zakat is a religious obligation distinct from CSR and encourage collaboration with official zakat institution. Next, the zakat institution officer, who share example from other JLC. Next is the public community representative, who play a role as a representative to the public by emphasizing the principle of transparency in the company governance. Finally, Kuwait Fikir expert, who act as a mediator by providing important guidance between corporate internal policies and public demand. Okay, through this simulation, students are expected to achieve several learning outcomes. Firstly, they will be able to differentiate zakat and CSR within the context of Islamic finance. Secondly is understand the importance of transparency in fulfilling religious duties. And finally, explore how fiqh principle can guide corporate ethics and decision making.
As we reach the end of our presentation, let us reflect on the key takeaway. Zakat is not just a form of charity, it is a religious obligation that promotes justice, wealth redistribution and social balance in Islam. Petronas, being a government league and Muslim majority owned corporation, has a duty to lead by example. Improving zakat transparency is not only an ethical choice but also a way to strengthen public trust. By applying qawaid fiqhiyah, we see how Islamic teaching can guide company in fulfilling religious responsibilities even in complex financial setting. We also recognize the important role of religious authorities in educating, guiding and monitoring companies to ensure zakat is properly managed and reported. In conclusion, transparency in zakat is more than just reporting. It also a commitment to Islamic values, social justice and good governance. Thank you.